What's up? Welcome back, MPTV. We're on the road. We're at the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and I got a guy that you all need to meet. He's got a company called Ovation. They're on the other side of us over here, but it's a badass product that helps restaurants understand what their guests are talking about and then reacting to it and responding. Zach, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Zack Oates, founder CEO of Ovation, and I grew up in hospitality. I saw that the goal of every restaurant is to create a great experience every time. But look, we got humans, right? Mistakes happen. Fries get forgotten, food gets cold, delivery gets delayed, all these things happen. And so the question is, if we have all of this, if everything that we do is to create a great guest experience, shouldn't the way we measure that experience be great also? I mean, think about it. What do you have? You have online reviews.
Yep.
First of all, those suck, right? One negative review loses you 30 customers.
Seriously.
They hurt. They really hurt. And so it's a bad way to get feedback. And what do you do for your loyal customers? You go into a place 10 times and the 11th time something goes wrong. What, do you leave a review on that 11th time? That doesn't seem fair. So, or you have, okay, then you go to long surveys. When's the last time that you took a long survey to get $1 off your meal?
I had one the other day that was scan this code to go to this site and enter, no shit, it was like a 20-digit number to leave a review, and I'm like, I don't really like y'all that much.
Right? It's asking a lot. And then, or the last thing you can do is you can go complain to the manager. And as we know, when you complain to a manager, that manager writes down the complaint, they talk to the owner, they let the owner know right? Isn't that what managers? No! Managers don't do it. What do managers do? They say, all right, thank you. Best case, they make it right, and then they don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody, because they don't want to happen.
So we took a step back with my hospitality experience, and then I built and sold a couple of technology companies, put the team together, and we're like, okay, how do we do this right? Not what's a better way to do a long survey, but what does the guest really want? How do you communicate with them? And we realized it all starts with a 2-question survey. How was everything? And then if it was great, we asked them to go leave positive reviews. And if it wasn't, we asked them to chat privately with staff. And then we take all of that data together and we use our intelligence platform to break that down into over 30 categories, so you know exactly what's going well and what needs to be improved across all your locations in one single view. And by the way, you're not asking the guest any additional questions.
Yeah, it's pretty
super
simple.
easy.
It's either it was great or it wasn't. How do we fix it? And if it's great, tell us here. So I told you this the other day, but last week I got an email from a person doing an article for Quick Service Magazine, QSR Magazine. And the first question was, how do you respond to negative reviews? And what made my skin crawl on that is that's the focus, is always to respond to negative.
Yes.
I'm like, so let me get this right. The average restaurant I see gets about 98 good reviews to every 2 bad.
Yep.
But they ignore the good. And so the example I had, I think I was telling somebody in a restaurant the other day, I'm like, so I walk in your restaurant, or I'm in your restaurant, I'm eating a steak, you walk by and I go, this steak's killer, and you just keep walking. See ya. But if I say, it sucks, you're going to talk to me. But that doesn't happen. You're going to talk to them regardless.
Yeah.
But why is there this, I guess, only focus on negative with restaurants? Because I'm going to bet on Ovation. If I look in there, I guess you can look across globally, the majority of restaurants get good reviews.
And here's what it comes down to. It's like, I remind people all the time, you don't serve people. You don't serve customers. You don't serve guests. You serve humans.
Okay.
Right? And the same things that get us excited, get us sad, get us mad, get us happy outside the restaurant, the same things that get us mad, get us happy, get us excited inside the restaurant. And so, people are 3 times more likely to leave a negative review than a positive one. And that's because of the vending machine principle. You put in $1 into a vending machine and you get out a candy bar. Are you elated? No, you got what you paid for.
Yeah.
If you put in $1 and 2 candy bars come out, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I'm excited.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, you put in $1 and your candy bar doesn't come out.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
The world ended.
You're shaking that thing, you're smashing into, right? And it's $1.
Yeah.
And it's a candy bar, right? Like, but it's the principle of it, right?
The machine hasn't failed you the 20 times prior.
Exactly.
But that one time.
But that one time. And so it's a matter of, the whole thing is like, if you come in and, how many, you probably had 20 people tell you you're a good looking guy today, right?
Yeah, I have.
Now, you have one person tell you that you're ugly, and you're gonna go home and you're like, all you could think about is the person that called you ugly.
I'm gonna fight him in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so that's the thing with the online reviews, is that you get all these positive reviews, and first of all, we fail to celebrate them.
Yep.
So fundamentally, we have to retrain ourselves, because, and we look at these 2 bad reviews, but it's like, yes, deal with them, do it well, and if you do it well, those 2 people are more likely to become loyal than the guests who didn't have a bad experience in the first place. But first of all, stop and celebrate the 98 people that came in. Celebrate with your team. Congratulate them. Let them know they're doing a great job. And then respond to them.
Yep.
Right?
High five them.
Thank them, right? And be like, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you back, Matt. Respond to the guests, because that's an opportunity for you to show your humanity, and quite frankly, here's a little key for you to put in some key words of like, hey, thanks for coming into lunch in Cincinnati with us today.
Yep.
And when you can pack that keywords, then when people type in lunch in Cincinnati, you're going to be showing up more often.
Well, and you also, when you respond, like what I teach our clients, and what I said in that article is those good reviews. Hey, we appreciate you coming in for lunch. Cincinnati's a great city. By the way, what did you have, and who was your server?
Yeah.
Oh, I had this steak tartare, and Karen was Karen is great. Like, the algorithm sees that you're playing their game and it likes you.
Yes.
So my first experience on the bad side, and this is where I got my first taste of how shitty consumers can be. I'm at Quaker Steak and Lube was a client of ours in Florence, Kentucky. We had 3 of them. And this is 2012, 13, 14, back in then. And I would manage all their social, me and my team would. And I'll never forget, this review comes across. This lady said, no shit, we come every week for wing night for the past year. We're not happy with tonight's visit. And I remember replying, I said, hey, I apologize, something went wrong. So you're telling me that you've come the last 51 weeks and had awesome experiences, and then this time it was bad? Exactly. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, when you dropped on your head, and like, it took everything for me. But I also knew, like, my whole philosophy was get it offline. Hey, well, apparently we screwed up. Do me a favor. Here's the cell phone number of the person to call and fix it, and let's take it offline and go from there.
Yes. And I think that's a really powerful thing to do. I call it the 3C mentality. First of all is you're compassionate, right? You start off with compassion of like, I'm so sorry that you... Oh,
microphone, mic check.
I'm so sorry that you had a bad experience. And then you get into you end with like this call to action, right? So you're calm, compassionate, call to action. And with a call to action, I always tell people, don't give $5 off. Don't give a free appetizer. What you do for the call to action, you say, text me here, email me here. I want to talk to you more. I want to understand more about this. Because then when people are reading the reviews, at least they understand, oh, this place actually cares about the guest experience, right? It's as much to make it right with that person as it is to reverse the effects of that negative review. But the best way to deal with negative reviews is to bury it with 5-star reviews, right?
Ask more great people.
Absolutely.
To give you great reviews.
But that's the whole concept of Ovation, was that I wanted a way that was, it gave the data to restaurants of a long survey, but it was easier to do than an online review. Because if I say, hey, there's a QR code on the table, how are we doing? 2 questions to enter for a $100 gift card. You are more likely to scan that QR code than if I put anything else on that. If I put, hey, join our loyalty club. Well, I don't know if I want to join your loyalty club.
I've only been here one time. I don't give a shit.
But people will give their feedback. And then here's the secret. You collect their data after they give you feedback. So how was it? Great. Mind if we follow up with you, enter your cell phone number here. They're much more willing to do that than if you ask for their cell phone number up front.
That's huge. I love the calm, compassionate, and then call to action. I had a friend of mine a while back, an auto repair shop in Cincinnati, that he could get 1,000 positive 5 stars, and the minute he got 1 3-star, his world ended. And like, he would get so enraged. It was like a stomach punch. I'm like, dude, if you aren't screwing up, I don't believe your company.
Yeah. Do you know what? They've actually done studies. The best score that you can have on Google is somewhere between a 4.6 to a 4.8.
Okay.
When you have a 4.9 or a 5.0, it's not believable. It's like they're paying people in India to leave reviews, unless they're in India, in which case, but like they don't believe that. And then when you get to like the 4.0 to 4.5, it's like, okay, that's like a good restaurant. Yeah. But the key is you want to be above a 3.9. Yeah. If you're at a 3.9 or below, you don't show up on Google, because here's the secret. If you go and you type in best burger near me, try it right now, best burger near me. Look at what Google does. They're going to filter out everyone who's below a 4-star when you add the word best. And I don't know about you, but the last time I searched for okayest burger near me was a long time ago, right? So you gotta at least have table stakes of 4 stars, and then you want to work your way up to the 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. If you're at a 4.9, shoot, go ask someone to leave you a 1-star review, and then have a great
Tell
response.
me I suck.
Yeah, and then have a great recovery solution, right?
Do you only push to Google, or do you have a conversation with the client to say Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, or whatever?
So we recommend Google. What we've seen is that first of all, Google search is so powerful. Yep. And Yelp reviews are starting to go down and down and down in volume. So if you look at how 100% of volume, Google is taking up a larger and larger share of that. So we always recommend push to Google first, and then Yelp, TripAdvisor. But the other cool thing that we do is, let's say you come into my restaurant, you have a great experience. You came in last week, you had a great experience. You left a review last week. Well, I'm not going to ask you to leave another review. Yeah. What do I want you to do if you already left a review? I want you to buy merch. Yeah. I want you to schedule a catering order. Yeah. I want you to buy a gift card, right? Yeah. So we also will prompt happy customers to go and do other things that are driving revenue.
Can you A/B it, that if Matt Platt comes in, scans that code, clicks the button to go to Google, and you assume I left it, and the next time I scan it, it doesn't give me the Google button, it gives me the Facebook button? Or is there options like that?
That's a great idea. Right now, we just have it ranked, we have it stack ordered, but that's a really good idea.
So I'll get a tip that we found out too. One of our clients in Virginia Beach is a restaurant that is big on tourism, but also pretty big on locals. But his tourism is driven almost entirely, TripAdvisor's really big where he's at.
Yeah.
And so one thing early on, we helped him because we get a lot of traffic digitally, a lot of customers data. He's like, hey, I want to drive people to have a good experience to TripAdvisor. And I was like, well, how come? He's like, well, because TripAdvisor, when you're recommended. And so he actually, because of the data he got and the people that were using our offers and driving traffic that was positive to TripAdvisor, became the #2 restaurant in Virginia.
No way.
And he's like, you could directly correlate his sales to that high ranking and that award, because when people come into town and they look at TripAdvisor, he's way up there because he's burying everybody else. He's got so many positive reviews.
And they've actually done studies. So this is Harvard Business did a study, showed a 1-star increase in your online ratings equals a 9% increase in revenue.
What? Damn.
It is just so important.
So go buy a shitty restaurant and then turn it around.
But really, that's not a bad idea. But I think the concept is, if you're able to increase your online reviews, what happens is you're seen more by Google. Yeah. The Google algorithm is designed to get more people to have a good experience using Google. Yep. Now, if you come to me and you say, Zach, I'm going to Salt Lake City, Utah. What restaurant should I eat at? And I give you recommendations that are bad. Are you going to come back and ask me for recommendations? No. Google does the same thing. Yep. If I'm asking for burgers near me, they want to show that searcher the best results. Yeah, now, what is the best results? Well, what do they listen for? They listen for who is talking about what location and how good is it. Yeah. So your velocity of 5-star reviews will have a bigger impact on where you show up on the search engines, on how many people find you, on how many people click to call or click to directions, and on your revenue than any other factor regarding SEO.
That's huge.
So,
that's a big thing I tell people, because the reason Google wants that, they want you to keep coming back to Google, Why they want you to come to Google, because the more times you come back, they get that ad revenue for those first 4 links and the side links. It's like Facebook. I was explaining in my presentation yesterday the speech about when you use Facebook wrong, like Papa John's. 6.7 million followers on Facebook. There's Shaquille O'Neal post they made the other day, which I think Shaquille's awesome, and it got like 300 engagements. Well, the reason is that they've done such a poor job of using social media that they have turned the water off. We're not giving you any more visibility because nobody interacts with your shit. If nobody interacts with your content on our timeline, they come back less often. They come back less often. We can't deliver ads.
Exactly.
And they're an ad revenue. And
that's the whole concept is, if you look at it from what these other groups are wanting to see, right? You see that it all boils down to the guest experience at the end of the day, but you got to make sure that you're managing that, right? So what we've done is we've created like this shield between the guest experience and the public sphere. That way, we're letting the good things go through, we're handling the bad things, and we're doing it all while staying compliant with Google and Yelp and Facebook's terms and conditions and TripAdvisor's, because at the end of the day, it's about how do you create and how do you express that guest experience. And so that's the key that we found, is that you have to be willing to be honest. And there's a lot of people, man, where, take someone who's in a bad relationship. One of the things that you rarely find in a bad relationship is two people asking, what could I do better, honey? No, what could I do better, honey? And when you have that open communication, you can build a relationship of trust. If you're sitting there and you're owning a restaurant and you're like, I don't want to know what my guests are thinking. It's like, man, when you're putting your head in the sand, you can't go forward. And there's such power in clarity. There's such power in understanding what do your guests really feel and think, and then be better because of that.
Love it. So how can they find out about Ovation? I'm guessing there's a website.
Yeah, you can check out ovationup.com. We're happy to chat with you. We work all over the country. We work with brands like Domino's Corporate all the way to a single location burger shop. We love restaurants. Like I said, I grew up in restaurants. I love this industry. I love building relationships, and would love to help you do that. So check out ovationup.com.
And the last thing I learned about you last week, which I think is cool as shit, is your dad is Bart Oates.
Bart Oates. He's
an 14-year NFL guy.
Oh, I thought you were referencing his episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Which,
no clue what that even is.
Yeah. Anyway, that was kind of funny. I didn't even know he did this as an adult cartoon.
What?
And one of my buddies messaged me and was like, hey man, I saw your dad's Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode. And I was like, wait, what? And so I go on and like, yeah, my dad did this cartoon. You didn't know what it was. And then on YouTube, on the episode, there's a comment, in the comment section, this guy's like, dude, did you realize that Bart Oates was like a real football player?
That's cool. Yeah. I learned that. I have a good relationship with my dad, and I like seeing your interaction with your dad. That was cool to see.
I love
last
it.
week.
Yeah, he's one of my absolute heroes, which is pretty cool.
Cool. That's all we got. MPTV in the books from the Florida Restaurant Show. See you later.